It's Basil! I was putting together a remembrance card about Basil to send to veterinarians who took care of him and friends who had donated for his care, and I wanted a certain photo of him to use inside the card. He loved to sleep in his basket or on just about any surface, curled on his side. When I would walk toward him, I would say, "It's Basil!" and he would roll over on his back but stay curled, exposing all that curly belly fur and waiting for a gentle belly rub, during which he air kneaded with his front paws and curled and uncurled his back toes, relaxed and gave me a little blep with his tongue and even the tips of his fangs. He was not long-haired, but had a lot of medium fur with a distinct chocolate cast, a bottle-brush tail, big velvety paws, and a plushy forehead that I would kiss all the time. I looked through 10 years of photos for one I was sure I had taken, and only found ones that included some of those features I wanted to remember. A little voice said to me, "You could just paint it." And suddenly I knew I should, because I really wanted to run my fingers through that belly fur one last time, and when I paint with my pastels, I blend with my fingers, and I could just feel that and knew that would suffice for running my fingers through Basil's fur. I collected all the photos I'd been looking at and put together a composite out of little bits from many photos to get the details I wanted, and I kept all the other photos close so I could see the details in context. I rubbed pastel on the back of the paper, then traced out some guidelines with a pen on the composite, then started adding areas of color. I painted most of it the first day, then worked through details for the next 5 days, making changes to some areas of the layout like his tail, which I wanted to see because he usually had it draped somewhere. Now, I haven't painted any elective paintings, only illustrations and some very small portraits, since early May 2023, when the 5 I lost before Basil were all showing signs of illness, and the lights went out from my creative focus. They had been such muses for me, but suddenly there was so much caretaking and vigilance with each of them, and sadness. When I paint, I put all of me into it, and there wasn't anything left, and I wanted to keep my focus on each of them for any and all the time we had left. Then I unexpectedly lost Basil a month ago. I thought it would be sometime next year before I could ease myself back to my hours of creative activities. So whose voice was it that said I should paint this image? I was trying to find. My inner voice communicates all the time, and I've learned to always listen. But I think it was Basil's idea. Maybe he wanted another belly rub too. However it happened, I managed to walk right back into my techniques and skills as if I'd never been away, and I'm already visualizing new paintings. Thanks, Basil. All of you through the decades have been a part of my creative life, from back in the beginnings to encourage and inspire me to keep on working on my drawing and painting skills, and each day since then giving me reasons to photograph and paint and visualize, and here I am today. I've done my best to make a video with close-up views of Basil's portrait so you can see the details more clearly, though my camera catches the color a little cooler than it actually is no matter what settings I use. It can be really surprising to see how light and shadow and pattern are created on a flat surface, and how colors mix and blend. I don't always like to go fully detailed for portraits. Sometimes I like one of the earlier, looser stages. But what I was remembering was actually all the details in his fur and face, and naturally gravitated to adding in all the details of the finest hairs and whiskers in some places. If you'd like to see other portraits, you can find my portraits video on YouTube using the link in the description. Thank you for watching.